Today, what exactly I'm going to be dealing with, I try to give you the total information related to this particular training program, how exactly it has been designed, and what is going to be the outcome of this particular training. Okay. Now, you're going to be getting trained on SAP sales and distribution as the first area where you're going to be working in different sub modules of sales and distribution. Along with that, you try to work with SAP LE, where this LE stands for Logistic Execution. And this particular module is going to be dealing with all the activities related to your shipment and transportation. So once customer has placed an order to the company, we need to perform delivery. So all delivery related activities is going to be handled by LE department. So we try to work with this particular module, and then we try to work out with SAP project workshops. In this particular workshop, I try to basically explain what is going to be the role of SAP consultant. If you're a part of implementation and support environment. That is what this particular focus is all going to be. You're going to be getting trained on SAP sales and distribution, SAP LE, along with the project, where this SD stands for sales and distribution, where we try to be responsible for mapping the entire business sales and distribution functionality on SAP platform. And to support this particular training program, you're going to be given server access, as it is not going to be theoretical, it is going to be practical. So every day we are going to be having the classes, which is going to be scheduled for 60 to 90 minutes in a day. 60 to 90 minutes in a day, and it is going to be running on SAP application. I try to demonstrate a particular functionality. I give you the explanation. I try to explain the business process, how that particular thing is going to be working, and practically we are going to be checking on SAP application by development and testing the functionality as well. So that is the reason it is going to be practical oriented sessions which are going to be conducted. For that, you require good system hands-on experience, and you will be given access to work with two different applications. One, we try to call it as ECC platform, and second is going to be S4 HANA. In SAP, you're going to be finding two versions, ECC and S4 HANA. This ECC is what we try to call it as traditional system, or you can call it as an old system, whereas S4 HANA is going to be the modern application. And the reason why this particular training is going to be conducted on these two platforms, because there are a lot of companies which need to upgrade their software from ECC to S4 HANA. From ECC to S4 HANA. So companies are looking for the people who is having good hands-on experience working on ECC platform as well as S4 HANA. So that is the reason you're going to be getting trained on both the platforms. Okay, going ahead, no company is going to be using ECC application for their business. If they want to use SAP, everything need to be recorded and executed on S4 HANA. But at the moment, we are in the migration phase where companies which are trying to work on ECC need to upgrade their software to S4 HANA. So it is mandatory for a consultant to have good hands-on experience working on both the platforms. So for that reason, this is going to be done on both the applications, and you will be given access to work with both the platforms. And the class timings is going to be same. So every day the class is going to be scheduled from Monday to Saturday, and it is going to be scheduled for 60 to 90 minutes. Only on Sunday we are not going to be having a class. Apart from that, all weekdays we are going to be having the classes scheduled. Okay. And talking about the study material required for this particular training program, I'm going to be providing you certain books what you need to refer and read. There are going to be some real-time documents. I'm going to be sharing it up. So in my project, what all documents we have prepared, I'm going to be sharing some of the documents. You can read it. You can come to know in the real time how we are going to be documenting a particular functionality. So you will be having some hands-on experience for that. And there are certain documents what I have prepared for the training program. I'm going to be sharing that particular documents so you can read it and you can run the functionality on SAP platform. It is going to be purely training manuals which I'm going to be sharing it up. What I've prepared along with the screenshots. So you know in which screen what data need to be put down, how that transaction need to be recorded, how you are going to be building the application at the same time. And talking about job assistance, I'm here to provide you the skill required to crack the interview and work independently in a project. So how much experience a 3+ consultant is having, that much of knowledge I try to provide from this particular training program. So where there are going to be certain assignments you need to perform, or you can call it as a task, or you can call it as exercise as well. You need to work on this. I'm going to be giving you assignments. You need to come out with a solution. I try to help you out with that. And the reason why I'm trying to say that you need to work on it, these are all my real-time issues. Whatever issues I face in multiple projects, I'm going to be giving you all that as a task. You need to work on it and you need to get to know the functionality of it. And you need to know the functionality of it. So the same issues you can explain it in the interview. So apart from that, I try to help you out with your resume preparation. I'm going to be providing some sample resumes. You need to look into that sample resume and you need to prepare your own resume. Okay, and I'm going to be doing the corrections and I'm going to be conducting the mock interviews where I try to evaluate your skill set, how much knowledge you have on a particular topic, or how to present a particular topic in the interview to an interviewer, how to crack the interview. That tips and tricks I'm going to be putting down as a part of your mock interviews. So this is what I'm going to be helping you out with your job assistance functionality. So whatever skill is required to crack the interview, to work independently in the project environment, I try to guide you. You can work on it. You can get success after completion of this particular training program. It's not going to be one day activity. It is going to be continuously learning activity. We try to do that. And each and every day class is going to be recorded. And you will be given access for all class recordings. Access will be provided. And this access is going to be provided for lifetime. You're not going to be having an expiry date for all the recordings. It will be updated in the Google Drive and it will be shared to you. It is going to be highly secured, so you can view any particular recording at any point of time. So all recordings are going to be updated in the drive. You will be having all the study material updated up in the drive as well. So anytime if you want to refer any particular class recording, any particular notes, it will be available. Okay. Now talking about this particular sales and distribution as a module, what exactly we are going to be learning. Now, when you hear this particular term sales and distribution, it is basically combination of two different activities put together, we name it as. Now, when we talk about sales, this is all about selling the products of a company. So if company want to sell their products, they will be having a sales department. and the sales department will be taking care of that particular activity. And apart from that, you're going to be finding distribution. This is all about delivering the products. Deliver the products to the customer on time. We need to make sure the products are going to be delivered to the customer on time. Okay, so that is the reason it's going to be a big module where it is combination of sales and logistics put together. We name it as sales and distribution. We take care of sales activities, we take care of delivery activities, we take care of post sale activities as well after sales. So we try to name this one as SD in short, sales and distribution. We name it as SD. Now I hear a lot of people calling it as SAP. So please don't try to call it as a SAP. Please name it as SAP, as we have an abbreviation maintained for that. Where this SAP stands for System, Application and Products. There's going to be the full name of SAP. System, Application and Products, which is going to be used in data processing. For processing huge volume of data. And we try to name this SAP as an ERP application, or you can call it as an ERP package as well. So a lot of companies are trying to use this SAP application for their business. Okay, there are a lot of manufacturing companies, there are a lot of trading companies, service oriented companies as well. They are using this SAP application. Okay, so the reason why these companies are using SAP application, one reason for recording day-to-day transactions. Whatever transactions are carried out in the business, they want to keep a record of it. It can be related to anything. It can be related to sales. It can be related to purchase, production, inventory. They want to keep a record of each and every activity. Stock coming in, stock going out. For which material, how much stock has been sold, how much stock has been purchased. Incoming payments, outgoing payments. They want to keep a record of all the payment activities. For that reason, company want to use this particular software for recording their day-to-day transactions. And if these transactions are going to be put down in the system, we can go for generation of reports. So company will be having the access for that. So how much sale has been done in a day, in a week, for every fortnight, in a month, quarterly sale, half yearly sale, annual sales. We can run multiple reports. Okay, by default in SAP we are having 5,000 plus standard reports available. If these 5,000 standard reports are not fulfilling the client or the business requirement, we can even work with the custom reports as well. Based on the business requirement, we try to design the report and fulfill the requirement. And based on this particular reports, business will be doing data comparisons. That is what we call it as data analytics. Business will be doing data comparison, data analysis. They can do the comparison, they can get to know for which product demand is good, demand is low, or peak season. For every business, you're going to be having a peak season, a dull season. For which material, slow moving products are there. What are the fast moving products? We can do that comparison for which material discounts need to be offered to attract the people. So we can do all that particular data comparison and business can take better decisions in a faster time. So that is the reason a lot of companies, you take any big companies, lot of companies want to use SAP application because of the solution what it's trying to provide it. Other ERPs are trying to fail. because we have a good solution designed for different industry verticals. We have a solution designed for the milk industry, pharmaceutical segment, chemical segment, oil and gas, for the retail, real estate, for constructions, for insurance. A lot of solutions are provided in SAP to map that particular business process. So that is the reason SAP is one top ERP application available in the market because of the features what it's trying to provide it. And when we try to talk about the sales and distribution, we try to basically focus understanding the business sales life cycle, how the cycle is going to be carried out and how that sales life cycle is going to be built on SAP application. So when we try to talk about this life cycle, I'm just trying to explain the process flow, business process flow, how exactly the flow is going to be carried out, where we have the concept of inquiry. So customer will be inquiring about a particular product. And once customer has inquired about a particular product, we try to offer a quotation. At what price company is going to be selling the product, we offer a quotation. And if customer is happy with that particular quote, he will be placing an order. So customer will be doing the business. So we try to go for sales order processing. That means customer has agreed to the terms and conditions of the business and he will be placing an order. And for that particular order, we try to deliver the stock. Once customer has placed an order, we deliver the products. And once this delivery has been done, we are going to be issuing an billing document, which is nothing but invoice. We are going to be generate a billing document, and for that particular billing document, we are going to be collecting the payments, which we try to call it as incoming payments over here. We are trying to sell a product to the customer and we are going to be collecting the payments. So we try to record it as incoming payments. So this is going to be the life cycle in sales, where the process is going to be starting with inquiry and closing with incoming payments. And to record this particular transaction in SAP, there is a lot of functionalities we are going to be learning it up. And sales department cannot work independently in a business. We require a lot of data from different modules as well. So we are going to be learning everything in depth in core. Like how this particular life cycle is going to be carried out on SAP application. So for that, what we do in sales and distribution, you're going to be working out with the core sales process. And this core sales is going to be divided into 4 areas. You're going to be having pre-sales. Second area would be sales. Third, we call it as complaints, or we name it as post-sale activities. And then we have agreements. These are the 4 areas we try to explore. Pre-sales, sales, complaints, and agreements. So when we talk about this pre-sales, anything happening before sale, let's say promotion activities. We try to promote a product in the market. Customer will be inquiring about a particular product. Company will be offering a quotation to the customer. These are all going to be part of your pre-sales activities. And what is the reason for this particular data need to be put down on the application? For generation of leads, for product analysis. For that reason, we record this pre-sales transactions. At the same time, we try to work out with the sales, where the sales is going to be made up of 3 areas. One, we call it as order processing. Second, delivery processing. And third, billing activities. We try to work with these things. So how customer is going to be placing an order, and at the time of order creation, what all data need to be captured, and then how delivery will be done, the steps involved in delivering the products, followed by invoice creation. So that is going to be part of your sales, where we try to make sure the product is going to be sold. We collect the payment from that particular transaction. And then comes the next one, which we call it as complaints and post-sale activities, which happens after sale. In case if customer is not happy with that particular product, he will be refunding it back. How the returns or refund process is going to be carried out. Let's say customer bought a product seems to be faulty, or product got damaged, or customer is not interested in that particular product anymore. He will be refunding it back. So what are the steps involved in returning the process, return process? And for that particular return products, how the settlement activities are going to be carried out. So there are going to be two ways of doing the settlements. One, we try to replace that particular product, or we try to refund the money back. We refund the money back to the customer. These are all going to be part of your complaints. Or sometimes we are going to be correcting the invoice. Due to some issues, we have issued a wrong invoice. That invoice need to be corrected and we need to reissue it once again. Some discounts has been not offered, or selling price has been not maintained properly. We need to correct that particular invoice and we try to resend it back. These are all going to be part of your post-sale activity, which comes after sales. And next area to work, agreements. So when you talk about this agreements, this is nothing but long-term relationship. Long-term relationship between customer and the company. And always when you deal with an agreement, you're going to be finding a validity period maintained. Always an agreement will be having a validity period. It will be having a start date and it will be having an end date. Okay. Now, example for this would be contracts. There will be a lot of contracts. For example, service contract, rental contract, a rental agreement. These are all going to be an example of a contracts. We try to deal with these contracts. We work with rebates. These are going to be topic names on which we try to learn the functionalities in sales. This is what we are going to be exploring it up. This core sales is going to be divided into these particular areas. We try to work out with the sales, pre-sales, apart from that, complaints and agreements. This is what we are going to be exploring it up under core sales process. And whichever area you try to work it out in core sales, everything is going to be based on pricing. Because when we offer a product to the customer, let's say quotation, when you offer a quotation to the customer, price of the product need to be maintained. When you create an order, when you work with billing, when you work with settlement, when you work with contracts, rebates, everything is going to be dealing with pricing. This is going to be the second area where we are going to be focusing on. We are not going to be only learning the core sales process. Along with this core sales process, we are going to be dealing with pricing activities. That's going to be the second area. Because every business will be having a particular style of how they try to charge the customer. So we try to learn the pricing procedures. How to create a pricing procedure where we try to put down all the conditions in the sequence for calculating the total. So there are going to be a number of scenarios we try to work it out. We try to work out with the pricing reports. Because if business want to know on which day for a particular product, what is the selling price, what is the discount, we try to put down all that particular data. So how to generate this pricing reports, how to work out with the scenarios. And we try to work out with the tax calculations as well. When we talk about the tax calculations, whenever there is a sale of a product, we need to collect the tax amount from the customer and we pay that tax amount to the government. So In India, we are trying to follow the concept of GST, goods and service tax. So how this taxation process is going to be done? We try to check out everything in detail. So this is going to be one of the core important concept in sales and distribution, where I'm going to be allocating more than 20 hours working in this particular area itself. In the real time, in the interviews, most of the interviewers will be checking out your skill set on pricing. You need to be expertise in this particular area. If you know how to work in all these particular areas, but you don't have any knowledge on pricing, you will be not considered as an SD consultant. So this is going to be one core module we try to explore as a part of sales and distribution module. And then we try to work out with the cross-module integration. As I mentioned, in a business, sales department cannot work independently. Sales need to get a lot of data from different modules, where we try to check how sales is going to be working with MM, where this MM stands for material management. MM stands for material management. And this particular material management department is going to be responsible for inventory. They maintain the stock. They maintain the stock levels. If they maintain the stock, then only sales team can pick that stock and sell it. In case if they don't maintain the stock, we cannot perform any kind of sale because stock is not available. So we are going to be learning how this MM team will be maintaining the stock in the inventory. At the same time, we try to work out with stock transfers. In case if you're running out of stock in one location and we have stock available in another location, we try to transfer it. So what are the steps involved in moving the stock from one location to another location? We try to work with this particular cycles. So almost in stock transfers, we are going to be having around 5 to 6 scenarios. We try to run each and every scenario. We check out how SAP is going to be built for that activity. So you're going to be having intrastate transactions and interstate transactions related to stock transfers. And third, we try to work out with the trading scenarios. Now, when we talk about trading scenarios, buying and sell, in case if you are trying to implement SAP for a trading business, where they don't do any kind of manufacturing, they just buy the stock from the vendors and sell it to the customer and they make some money out of it. So how to map that particular trading scenarios in SAP, we try to work with that. And in this trading, we have two major scenarios. One, we call it as third party sales, or you can also call it as drop shipment. And second thing, individual purchase order. Based on customer requirement, we buy the stock and we supply it. In case if customer is not placing an order, we are not going to be buying any product. We don't keep that stock readily available in the inventory. Once we receive an order, purchasing activities will be done and we sell it to the customer and we make some revenue out of it. These are all going to be part of your trading scenarios. These are all life cycles what we are going to be working on. In sales life cycle, you're going to be having different business process. We are going to be working with a lot of business process, as many as we can implement for a particular business. And we try to work out with P2P cycle. This P2P is what we try to call it as procurement to pay. Purchase life cycle, you can call it as the steps involved in purchasing the product. So how your MM team will be buying the stock from the vendor, the steps involved in it, we try to work with that. These are all going to be the activities related to your MM we try to focus as a part of SD MM integration. At the same time, we try to work out with LE integration. As I mentioned, this is going to be part of your course curriculum, where this LE stands for logistic execution. They play a very important role in performing all the activities related to the shipment and transportation. So in sales life cycle, this particular LE module is going to be fitting over here, where the process is going to be starting with order, and once customer places an order, we try to perform delivery. So activities required for delivering the product to the customer, that is going to be handled by your LE department. So to deliver the product, there are going to be different steps involved in it. We have the concept of picking. To deliver the stock, first I need to pick the stock. Once I pick the stock, we work with the packing. We need to make sure the product is not getting damaged. In transportation, we work with the packing functionality. And again, you're going to be having different scenarios in packing. Almost we try to work with 3 to 4 scenarios in the packing functionality. Then we try to maintain batch management. In case if company is implementing batches, stock will be manufactured in batches and it will supply in batches. If you take pharmaceutical business, on each and every medicine, you will be finding a batch number. With the help of that batch number, we can know to which customer on which date that particular product has been sold. And that will be giving a lot of data. Manufacturing date, expiry date, place of manufacture. We can track the entire life cycle of that particular product. And fourth one, we try to activate route. With the help of this particular route, we can go for calculating the shipping charges. And this route is going to be giving us the distance, how much distance the product need to travel, what is going to be the mode of transportation we are going to be using it, departure point, destination point information. All this particular data is going to be shared up. So this is what we try to cover as a part of your SDLE integration, the steps involved in delivering the product. And then we try to work out with the next module, like how sales is going to be working with FICO. There's going to be another one, where this FICO stands for finance and controlling, where this FI stands for financial accounting, and we have CO, where the CO stands for controlling. So these are going to be two different modules. So people call it as FICO or FICO or FICO. All naming conventions are accepted. Where this financial accounting is going to be responsible for generation of your account statements. They try to prepare the company's account statements, balance sheet. In general, we try to call it as balance sheet, which is going to be providing your profit and loss statement. How much revenue we made in a financial year, the finance team will be keeping a track of it. So they make sure each and every payment transaction is going to be recorded on SAP application. They keep a track of it. Incoming payments, outgoing payments, which we call it as account receivables and account payables. If they keep a track of it, we can have that particular information. So this is one thing you need to be aware of. Yes, Leela Kumar, do you have any question, please?
Yes, sir, I have a question regarding SAP LE.
Yep.
Yeah, sir, is this a module will be covered within the course completely?
Whatever
SAP
things
LE.
are required to perform the sales activities, we try to deal with that. Almost around 60% to 70% of LE concepts are going to be executed.
Okay. And then at the same time, F Fury also will be covered, sir, within the things. How we gonna deal on Fury?
I'm going to be doing that in S4 HANA classes. I'm going to be explaining you the Fiori applications, like how we are going to be running the transactions on the Fiori apps.
Oh, okay, 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 sir. Okay, my doubts has been cleared.
Okay, so that's going to be one thing. Like in FICO, this is what the finance team is going to be taking care of, and then we have controlling department. Now, when we talk about this controlling, they work with an activity called as product costing. Okay, so this particular team is going to be responsible to fix up the price of the product. At what price company need to sell the product in the market, that price will be fixed by the controlling department. It is not going to be the sales team who will be fixing up the price. It is going to be the controlling team who will be doing that, because this controlling team will be working with MM to know what is the cost involved in buying the raw materials. They try to work out with the raw material costing. Once they have that information, then CEO is going to be working with the production team. What is the cost involved in manufacturing a particular product? Then CEO is going to be working with sales team. What is the cost involved in promoting the product? Based on all these particular parameters, they try to fix up manufacturing price, or we try to call it as input price. At what price company is manufacturing the product, and based on that, selling price is going to be fixed up. So we work with this particular department, FICO. And under this FICO, we are going to be working with a topic name called as revenue account determination. How accounts are going to be updated. Each and every business transaction need to be updated to the finance department. Now in the life cycle, if you try to see, so let's say customer is going to be placing an order. For that particular order, we try to perform delivery. And once you deliver the product to the customer, we are going to be raising a billing document. And this particular billing document transaction need to be updated to the finance department. Then only the finance team will be having the entire information for which billing transaction, from which customer, on which date, how much amount need to be collected. Okay, so creation of this particular billing and working with incoming payments is going to be part of your SDFI integration. For that reason, we are going to be looking into the concept of revenue account determination. How accounts are going to be getting updated as soon as we try to raise a bill, an invoice. Second concept we try to deal with credit management. In case if company is offering the goods on credit to the customer. So what are the steps involved in fixing up the credit limit? Based on what parameters this credit limit is going to be fixed up? Then how to block the customer? In case if customer credit limit has been exceeded, then how to block the customer? How to increase the credit limit? In case if customer is doing good business with the company will be increasing the credit limit so that he can buy more products from the company. So how this entire credit management is going to be executed, we try to learn that. And third, we try to work out with the rebates. So special discounts, we name it as. So we are going to be putting some promotions in the market, saying that if you buy this particular product for 1 year period, I'm going to be offering you certain amount as a rebate. And that rebate amount will be paid after the settlement date. So for that, we try to work with the cycles. And fourth would be the taxes, GST configurations. So these are all going to be the activities what we try to work with FICO. So along with this, we try to work out with next area like how sales is going to be working with PP, where this PP stands for production planning. They also play a very important role in the business. Production planning. So this production team is going to be responsible for manufacturing the product, and for which material, how much stock they need to manufacture. That data will be shared by the sales. So we are going to be looking into a concept called as availability check and transfer of requirements. There's going to be a concept like how we are going to be sharing your requirement to the production team so that they can manufacture the product on time. A small integration with the PP we are going to be having it up. And then we try to work out with another integration module, how sales is going to be integrated with ABAP. So ABAP is a language in SAP where codes are going to be written. If you develop any particular screen SAP, code need to be written in ABAP language. And the reason why we try to work out with this ABAP module in real time, if client is giving us a requirement, and in case if SAP is not providing a solution, we need to come out with a solution for that. So we try to interact with the ABAPers who will be writing the code, and he will be developing the screens, and we try to fulfill the requirement of the business. So we try to work out with the programs. It's not going to be in detail. We are not going to be learning how to write a code because we are not a technical consultant. We don't have any kind of coding experience. We are not going to be dealing with any kind of coding in sales and distribution. We just try to learn how to find a program name where exactly the ABAPer need to write a code, and he will be doing the rest of the activity. You need to understand the database because your database is going to be made up of tables. Whatever data we try to store in SAP will be updated in tables. From which tables your ABAPer need to pull the data. So you need to know the table names. You need to know the user exits where the code need to be written. You need to know how to write a functional spec for the developments. These are all going to be part of your SD ABAP integration activities. We try to work it out. So with this only, your training program is going to be completed. Okay. So there are a lot of things as a part of your sales and distribution module. We are going to be learning it up. We try to work with the core sales process. There are going to be multiple business process, multiple business scenarios we try to learn, which is going to be fitting in these 4 areas. Apart from that, pricing functionalities. Apart from that, cross-module integration. And once you have this particular knowledge, then we try to work out with the project workshop. And in this particular project workshop, I'm going to be explaining a lot of things how to handle the project. So very first thing, we try to learn what is going to be the role of SAP consultant as a part of implementation and support environment. Second, we try to learn the methodologies used. Methodology used for SAP implementation. So in the real time, how SAP projects are going to be handled. What are the different phases involved in it? And in each and every phase, what is going to be the role of a consultant? We try to work with that. Third, we try to work out with the data migration. That's going to be the most important one in the project, where we are going to be moving the data. Move the data into SAP. So what are the tools SAP has provided? How to use that tools for fetching the data into SAP from non-SAP application. Fourth, we try to work out with SAP system landscape. So normally in any project you work, you're going to be having development server. Then we have quality server. followed by production server. So in each and every server, what exactly we try to put in, how you're going to be building the application from the scratch, where exactly the testing functionalities will be done, where the live transactions are going to be recorded, who will be given access to work on which system, user authorizations, user matrix, everything we try to cover as a part of your landscape. And we also try to work out with the data transportation. So how we are going to be moving the data from development server to quality server, from quality server to production server. And we try to work out with the documentations. So how we are going to be preparing the documents. What are the different set of documents you need to know when you work in the project environment. Then we try to work out with a case study where I'm going to be giving you a task where you need to build the entire application from the scratch to end. We try to call it as end-to-end implementation. In this particular case study, what I do, I try to explain the business, and for that particular business, you need to come out with a solution. So how you are going to be building the application from start to end. So what are the standard functionalities you have identified where SAP has provided the solution? In case if standards are not available, what are the gaps? What are the custom solutions you have identified which need to be developed? And how that development activities has been done with the help of ABAP. So all that is going to be part of your case study. So if you have this particular knowledge, it would be easy to work independently in the project. And how much knowledge, as I mentioned, 3 to 4 years consultant is having, that much of skill is going to be imparted so that you can crack the interviews with ease. So as I mentioned, it is not going to be theoretical. Everything is going to be practical. Every day we work on the system and we try to explore the functionalities. And I would be requesting you people to make sure you try to spend at least 3 to 4 hours in a day to do your practicals so that you can build confidence, you can know the system functionalities, and you can talk in the interviews. In interviews, they will be asking all the questions related to your system approach itself. So you need to be masters in that. So this is what I wanted to explain in today's session, giving you a good overview of how this particular training program has been designed and what are going to be the outputs of this particular training, what are going to be the different areas we are going to be learning in the sales and distribution to work with the life cycle.